after over 20 years, David sought to bring the Ark of the Covenant out of the house of Abinadab. He wanted to bring it back to the tabernacle where it belonged. They built a new cart and they placed a couple of oxen with yokes upon them to carry it. They placed the Ark of the Covenant upon the cart. Uzzah and Ahio drove the ark, pushed those oxen that they would pull the cart the direction they wanted. What a joyous occasion for David and the children of Israel. For finally, their beloved Ark of the Covenant would be returned into the tabernacle. They came worshiping and praising God. They sang songs. They blew their trumpets. Some could be seen dancing, shouting, rejoicing in God. For the time had come where the blessing and the favor of God was returning back to the tabernacle. Oh, but something went wrong. Tragedy struck. The oxen, perhaps carrying it up a hill, finding ground that they could not bear traction on. They stumbled. And when they did, the Ark of the Covenant began to shift on the cart that they were pulling. Uzzah, just wanting to protect the Ark of the Covenant, wanting to take care of it, make sure that no harm was done to it, he reached out his hand to stop the Ark of the Covenant from falling, to stabilize it back on the cart that it was being pulled on. But by doing so, the Lord became very angry with him. And the Bible tells us that God struck him dead. What tragedy in the midst of celebration. All rejoicing had to end. All praise stopped dead in its tracks. David could not move the Ark of the Covenant any further. He had to rest the Ark of the Covenant once again in the house of Obed-Edom. For 3 months it sat there, awaiting the day that it could travel again back to the tabernacle. But David was sore afraid. For why, God, would you cause a man simply trying to protect the Ark of the Covenant to die, simply just wanting to balance and stabilize it? Why would you let this happen, Lord? And what David discovered was that from the beginning, they had not carried out the Lord's will. You see, because in the creation of the Ark of the Covenant, God designed it with rings on the ends. He had Moses and those building these pieces of furniture to build 2 staves that would go into those rings so that the men of God could carry the Ark of the Covenant by placing those wooden sticks upon their shoulders. It would require 4 men at the very least in order to carry the Ark of the Covenant. And see, that was the Lord's will. That was the ordinance regarding the moving of the Ark of the Covenant. It must be upon the shoulders of the priests and the men of God. It couldn't be done any other way. Yes, having a cart was much easier, and placing the burden upon the oxen was simpler, but oh, that's not the will of God. For it is His will that the ark, that the word, that the gospel be carried, not in an easy fashion, not by oxen, not by bus, not by train, but carried upon the shoulders of His ministers.